We talk about the violence in Jamaica that is out of control. And it's not necessarily violence or crime in the streets anymore. It is a crime against our healthcare worker. It's a crime against a nurse who was beaten on her way to work. And she's not alone. You have women, children, workers across the country who are being attacked. So this is not just about one nurse. It's about the Jamaican women. It's about the Jamaican caregivers. It's about the dangers that they face on a daily basis while trying to survive. You understand? So it is time for us to protest, and I'm excited that a lot of persons are out there standing up for this nurse, standing up for the profession. And yes, you might say, oh, but nobody not taking care of patients. The patients are doing good. But nurse is somebody who is very committed. A nurse is a caring person. And this nurse was brutally attacked while simply going in for work. No protection, no justice, just was in pain at the time. You understand? And thankfully there was somebody who was able to help her because she was now the victim. Sadly, this is not rare. You understand? Because you have women across the country that are being beaten, they're being abused, they're ignored, whether they are at home on the road or they're at work. You understand? But what happens with this attack is that it shines a light on a larger crisis, because women are not safe anymore. They're not safe walking to work. They're not safe driving to work. It's the same thing for children in their communities. Communities are supposed to be a place where they're supposed to feel as though they're protected. And that is not happening anymore because they're being harmed in their own communities. The same thing for teachers. So nurses, teachers, every day are workers that are living in fear. They're working in fear. And we have come to a point where we've normalized violence, and people would say, oh, it's just, you know, how things are, or it's normal. And it's not okay. It's not okay. It is not okay. It is something that definitely needs to address. And so now more than ever, I'm hoping that, you know, the nurses, when we go out there and we are protesting, I'm hoping that people will hear us. You understand? We're not only out there for better pay, we're out there for basic safety and dignity for all. You understand? We're protesting because we want a country where working doesn't feel as though you're risking your life. You understand? And protest is not rebellion. It is just a way for us to talk about or let people know that we're wanting a change. You understand? And so to every nurse out there, to every Jamaican out there, this is not necessarily a nurse issue. It is a national problem. It is a national emergency. And I am hoping that the leaders that are out there, they are going to try to see what they can do. Because if they are not able to protect our children, if they're not able to protect our women, you know, our caregivers, obviously they're failing us. You understand? They're failing us. And for us as people, we're supposed to do our part, because we need to learn to speak up. We need to demand. We need to defend. You understand? And you see the nurses that are currently out there protesting, I just want you to know that I am there as well. I am out there. I see you and I stand with you. You can't heal anyone when the healers are hurting. We can't build a country when the women and the children are broken. So basically, it's time for us to go ahead and just stand up. It's time for us to speak. And justice for the nurse, and basically justice for all. That's all I'm saying on the matter. You understand? Because it's heartbreaking to hear that a nurse in our white uniform get beat up on the roadside. Back then, nursing profession was so respectable. You could hear that there is gang war going on, and if a nurse is passing through, it's the quietest it be. You understand? It is so quiet because people just have respect. They will stop the gunfighting and let a nurse go through. No, this is what it's gone to. This is what it's gone to. It's sad. So definitely justice for the nurse, justice for all the other person. Nurse, if you're watching this, may I tell you, me know your pain kind of ease up right now, you know. Me know your pain ease up because I love how the nurses were able to stand in solidarity with you. I mean, know, so when you see that your skin crawl, because my skin crawl too. I wasn't the one who was physically affected, but emotionally, mentally, yeah man, I was affected by it. You understand? And me I tell you, say, seeing the nurses on the road, you know, doing their walk across the country, it brings about some form of relief. It brings about some form of relief, some joy, some fulfillment to see that the nurses are standing up together, to see that the healthcare workers are standing up together for you. You understand? Time this has been happening. This is not happening just yesterday. This has been happening for a long time. You understand? But not until somebody has been physically being beaten down, like they're in one of those, you know, what you call it? The wrestling show. Not until somebody has been witnessed to be in that position where they're on the ground being beaten up, physically assaulted by a male, a big man in the community. Not until that has been witnessed, then this march wouldn't have been possible. So may I pray for your speedy recovery. And we know that you might have a lot of trauma because of this. But I'm hoping that the Lord will just continue to give you the strength and make sure that you go out and you're stronger than before. And I'm just hoping that after this march, people will come together and rally together and realize that this thing with crime, this thing with, abuse, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Everybody wants to go to Jamaica. Everybody wants to go to Jamaica. But because of the crime and violence, we are pushing people away from our country. It needs to stop. And if it don't start with you, not you in a nurse, but if it don't start with you, whoever out there that is, causing all of this attack on nurses, on healthcare workers, teachers, other persons in the community, children, our boys, girls, grandmas, daddies. You understand? Each other. If we're not going to stop the abuse on all of these individuals in the community, it's going to get worse. So make sure it starts with you and it starts with me. Don't go out there and get angry at people for no reason at all. Don't go out there and be bullies to people for no reason at all. Not because we're walking with, sometimes we walk with a little metal in our side. Not because we're walking with one of those, it doesn't give us the extra strength. Not because we are, so high on the ladder, it doesn't give us the extra power. Alright, a life is a life. Let's learn to talk things through, understand, and, come to a conclusion. I know a lot of times it's hard, but we have to try and see how we can do that. But I do hope that, nurse, you will have a speedy recovery, as I say. And to all the nurses in Jamaica, as I say, big up to NHA for always having our backs. When it comes on to the protests, you guys never fail. You never fail yet. You understand? You don't have this thing because you guys care about us. It's not today. It's not yesterday. Or from a long time you don't care. You understand? So all the persons who have been a part of, what made it possible, the group of people who made it possible for this march, thank you so much for standing up for all of these nurses. You understand? Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. My time I run out. Subscribe to my YouTube page on Think Nursing. Bye.